There are over 320,000 foreign domestic workers in Hong Kong, which makes up 3% of Hong Kong's population. About 97% of these domestic workers are from Philippines and Indonesia. They shoulder a significant proportion of child rearing and elderly care responsibilities in Hong Kong and contribute over 130 billion to the Hong Kong economy every year, which is approximately 6.6% of Hong Kong's GDP. However, many foreign domestic workers are forced into debt by illegal placement fees. 60% of domestic workers in Hong Kong are being overcharged. They are forced to pay an average of 50,000 Hong Kong dollars agency fee. Indonesian workers are found to be more vulnerable to the problem. A survey by the Indonesian Migrant Workers Union found that 85% of Indonesian workers are forced to pay fees of 21,000 Hong Kong dollars. But why this problem is happening in Hong Kong, a city of renowned rule of law?
There are 5 stakeholders in the issue. They are the overseas agents, Hong Kong agents, Hong Kong lending companies, migrant workers, and household employers. At recruitment stage in overseas, migrant workers trained in center by agency. They sign document without getting a copy. They have to pay agency fee by salary deduction. When they arrive Hong Kong, their passport and contracts are retained by Hong Kong agency. The agency will then bring workers to lending companies in Hong Kong, and workers are required to sign documents for loan shark without giving a copy. The agencies then send the workers to household employers. The agency gives instruction to workers for payment to those lending companies. From the flowchart, you can see that agency cooperate to collect illegal placement fee indirectly through lending companies. Even the workers complain. They may face different challenges. The first problem is the failure of government system. The Employment Agencies Administration (EAA) under the Labor Department regulates agencies. It only accepts the cases with sufficient evidence. It is difficult for workers to do so, as agencies cover their tracks. They lack evidence to complain. The second problem is the lack of support. If they are still employed, few employers will allow them to take day off from work to file claims. The third one is the legal problem. If workers file the claim after being dismissed from jobs, they can't take up jobs. It is impossible for them to wait for the long court schedule.
Let's examine a real victim case. Aditya, an Indonesian domestic worker who has worked in Hong Kong for 3 years, is a victim of the debt bondage problem.
How much did you charge for the agency fee?
They charged me in 21,000 Hong Kong dollar, and I need to repay the tips by 7 months. Every month I must pay 3,000 to the agency. They asked me to pay, and then I pay for them. I really need to job, as I'm the only breadwinner of my family.
Did you seek help from the government?
Of course not. Under tourism rule, I can only stay in Hong Kong to seek for another job after the contract. The complaint process me many times. Many of my friends came and sing with me.
Do you know there are any other organizations in Hong Kong which could help you?
I don't know. I have never heard of that.
Workers are often being put in a disadvantaged position. The 2-week rule has limited their stay and, in other words, forbid them to file complaints against illegal agencies and loan companies. Coupled with inadequate support from Labor Department, this problem seems couldn't be solved. Yet, we believe that there is a way out. Firstly, there are several NGOs in Hong Kong established with an aim to help helpers in distress. They include Helpers for Domestic Helpers, Pathfinders, Amnesty International, Bassoon House Migrant Women's Refugee, as well as the Fair Employment Agency. Fair Employment Agency is a non-profit making organization. Unlike existing agency companies in Hong Kong, they charge helpers zero placement fee, and a handful of helpers have benefit from its service. We have had an interview with Natalie, a student intern from FEA. Let's understand what their work is about.
Agency is a helper agency company that help the helpers to find the employers without charging them any placement fee. And in Hong Kong, a lot of workers are being exploited and dehumanized. In the office, I have seen a lot of workers coming in to seek help, and I think FEA is indeed a solution for them because we do not charge any placement fee, and we can free them from being exploited and also help them to seek any legal help. And we are now trying to reach out to the community. We are seeking help from different parties from the community. For example, some NGO also, and some big corporation, for example Goldman Sachs and also the JP Morgan, to seek some financial help and also for some donations. But furthermore, we are seeking help from the government because we think that the government should help more in this ethical issue in Hong Kong, and we did need more support from the society.
We recommend two adjustments to existing law. First, duration of 2-week rule should be extended to allow greater flexibility for the domestic helpers. The extension can give them sufficient time to adjust and cease contracts. Upon the termination of job, adequate time are provided to search for a new job and issue a new working visa. Heavier penalties are necessary to be imposed, as current fine is insufficient to alleviate the situation. Therefore, incremental fine could be a daunting warning to force the agency to comply with the rules. Moreover, authority can consider tightening the regulations of approving and renewing the license of employment agencies and loan companies. Companies with prior undesirable history should be given serious inspection to ensure these organizations are suitable to provide service for the workers instead of exploiting them.
We suggest the Hong Kong government to set up an independent statutory body to investigate and monitor human rights. The extensive inspection is expected to rectify the gap in current system of Hong Kong to minimize the exploitation of workers. This third party could pressure legal institutions to meet the International Human Rights Instrument from United Nations. Government should grant support to existing NGOs in Hong Kong that aims at helping FDH to resolve labor disputes. For example, the Helpers for Domestic Helpers and the Open Door, to enhance the support to the workers. Collaboration with overseas authorities is also advised to alleviate the mistreatment. Hong Kong and the motherland of FDH can have a better understanding on each other's legal point of view and thus existing policies. Regular information exchange between countries could allow the legal procedures against the offenders to become more easily carried out.